The Watcher has a shocking, twisty, and surprisingly ambiguous ending, but what is the secret beneath the hit Netflix thriller's finale? Hello there, viewers. Today, we bring to you the Watcher ending explained. So stay tuned and be ready for spoilers if you haven't watched the series' finale yet. What happens in the Watcher's ending? At the end of The Watcher, the characters Nora and Dean Braddock discover that their private eye investigator Theodora has been hospitalized with cancer. In what seems like a classy twisty ending to a Netflix mystery show, the dying Theodora admits that she was the one who sent the letters. She explains that she had bought 657 Boulevard because it was her dream home, only to be forced to sell it when she couldn't afford the place. When her husband died, she realized he had hidden away over $1 million. Thus, she could in fact afford the house, leading her to concoct a bizarre scheme to pen threatening letters in order to convince the Braddocks to leave the house. Why did Theodora claim she was the Watcher? Theodora explained she hired actors to play the pig-tailed woman who appeared in Dean and Nora's bedroom, all in an attempt to get her house back. However, at Theodora's funeral, her daughter refutes these claims, and then the Braddocks learn from their neighbor Mo that Theodora never lived in the house. In the Watcher's rare, dark, double-twist ending, it turns out that Theodora was lying as she lay dying, trying to give the Braddocks some closure by claiming to be the Watcher since she was never able to uncover the actual assailant who tormented the couple while she was on the case. What happened to Karen in 657 Boulevard? When the ending of The Watcher reveals Theodora was innocent after all, the suspicious realtor Karen seems to be a prime suspect. She made no secret of the fact that she wanted 657 Boulevard for herself. She could have been the girl in the pigtails, and she could have written the letters that threatened the Braddocks. As a realtor, Karen was also likely to know all about the house's secret subterranean tunnels and could have used these to scare the Braddocks into moving out. However, like many Ryan Murphy movies and shows, the twist ending of The Watcher completely disproves this theory when Karen does move into 657 Boulevard after the Braddocks leave the house. She survives about 48 hours in the house before she's chased out by a masked assailant, and in that time, she suffers more than the Braddocks did during their entire residence in the house. The reason that Karen's dog is killed and why she receives a letter from the Watcher is so that the Watcher's ending can firmly disprove the possibility of her being the title villain. Since Karen is the most obvious suspect, her traumatic experience is necessary to make it clear that the Watcher's ending removes any lingering suspicion from her character. Before we move on, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and do subscribe to our channel. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated of our future updates. Was John Graff a real person? Like many true crime shows on Netflix, The Watcher plays fast and loose with the facts of the case that it's based on. Despite what some sources claim, John Graff was not a real person. The character is based on real-life murderer John List, who did tragically kill his family in Westfield, New Jersey. However, List had nothing to do with the 657 Boulevard case and had no connection to the story, making John Graff a fictional creation with a grim real-life inspiration. The reason that The Watcher's ending adds Graff to the show's list of characters is likely to accentuate comparisons between the real-life story and more explicitly supernatural scary stories such as the Amityville Horror. Is Dean Braddock becoming the Watcher in the end? Dean Braddock's inability to save his family from the Watcher causes the character to obsess over the villain, leading his and Nora's marriage into trouble. During a therapy session, he brings up the house unprompted, and when he tells Nora he's at a job interview, he secretly revisits 657 Boulevard and watches the new inhabitants of the house as they collect their mail. However, this doesn't mean Dean is now the Watcher. For one thing, Dean doesn't do anything actively malevolent. For another, Nora also visits the house immediately after he leaves, meaning she also hasn't been able to let go of the events that transpired there. Most importantly, although The Watcher follows Netflix's true crime show protocol and changes a lot of facts, the show is still based on a real-life case, and the real people involved weren't accused of fabricating the letters, and nor did they torment the next inhabitants of the home. As such, even with its fictionalized elements, it would become too much for The Watcher's ending to imply otherwise. What The Watcher's ending really means. The Watcher's ending is not as straightforward as those of many other Netflix shows, but that's only because it's based on a real-life unsolved case. the lack of resolution in the real-life story is the primary reason that the Watcher's ending can simply unmask its villain. However, the other reason that the Netflix hit show can have a tidy conclusion is that The Watcher is about the terror of not knowing your neighbor, of never being sure who you live near and what they're up to, and of the impact that a culture of anonymity has on small communities. The Watcher casts suspicion on almost all of its cast and exonerates almost none of them precisely so that the Netflix show can prove that there is no knowing who the Watcher was, and that might be the scariest ending of them all.